All right, our fans were absolutely awesome tonight. I think anytime that you can, play a physical game like that and control the rushing attack on both sides of the ball, it's going to create success. Clean relatively on special teams play, really good on third down. Still some moments there for growth. In the red zone, we got to go come away with points. We got to go score. That didn't show up a couple times tonight, and it could hurt you later on in the season. So that's something we'll definitely attack moving forward this year. But overall, proud of our guys' performance and the growth.
Sort of right there.
Run game was great throughout. Kind of what allowed Jordan and the offense to move it so well there.
Yeah, I think our offensive staff had a really great plan, of understanding where we wanted to be able to attack in the run game. And I thought our offensive line, blocked well. And then we were able to block well at the second level as well. And not going down on first contact. I think you saw that multiple times from Jordan tonight, where he got hit and he continued to push for extra yards.
On the left, Rob.
If you just speak to the defensive performance the last 2 weeks, really, and Jordan Birch really being a game wrecker, but a lot of other guys contributing as well.
Yeah, I just think ultimately that's our standard, right? That we want to be able to perform week in and week out, regardless of opponent. There's a way that you want to go out there and play defense. We knew that they had an attack that was tough to be able to stop, and once we were able to kind of secure the run game, it made them play a little bit left-handed.
Right, Zach?
When Dillon has those 2 interceptions, as a veteran player, what do you do on the sideline with him? Do you pull him aside? Do you kind of let him go through it? What do you do? How do you handle that?
We had a conversation, but that's a moment to reset. This guy's played a lot of snaps. Again, it's not easy to play college football, but timing's so important. Understanding where we're at on the field is so important. I think those will be great growth moments for Dillon.
James, left.
From the time he arrived, you guys had high expectations of Jordan Birch and thought that he could be a double-digit sack guy. What's allowing him to wreak this level of havoc and start reaching his potential, Dan?
Well, he's playing with great violence, and he's the kind of person that shouldn't be blocked one-on-one, and we're doing a good job defensively of creating one-on-one opportunities for him, and he's doing a good job of taking advantage of those. He'd be the first one to tell you that, great rush starts with great coverage. It starts with other guys on the front, that do a great job rushing that makes him have a one-on-one. So he's been able to take advantage of those, and that's what we expect from Jordan.
Right here on the right.
Tez had 10 catches tonight, which brought his season average up to 8.6. What is it about the way he plays that makes him so consistently dependable?
Yeah, I think one, our offensive staff does an unbelievable job of moving him around, so it's hard to get a beat on where Tez is going to be at on any given play, with the movements and motions that we use. And then he's just an elusive player. He's hard to cover. He's got great burst, and he's very consistent. From that, he's become, a safety net, in a lot of ways for our offense and the way he's able to get open.
Right here on the left.
I know you had said that you had seen some things that you guys could continue to improve on, but would you say that this was still your most? Would you say that this was your most complete game so far this season?
Yeah, probably in a lot of ways it was. Like I said, there's certainly some moments for growth and some opportunities that you can't let slip away that we got to be able to take advantage of. But overall, as a team, I thought we played well.
Back left here. And then Matt, right behind you.
I know this game meant a little bit more to you and your family. Did you ever look up in the stands at all tonight? Was there ever a moment where you just felt a little bit more emotional, maybe because of that?
Yeah, I'd be lying if I said I didn't. This game was definitely special for a lot of people. Anybody that's been affected by cancer, I couldn't help but notice the people ringing the bell out there on the field, and I remember that moment and what it felt like. So it's certainly special for our family, certainly special for a lot of people out there tonight.
All right, Matt, in the back.
Can you describe just the impact Caldwell's having up front. Plays a position sometimes doesn't register any sacks, but we know or stats, but we know he's doing more than that.
Yeah, if anybody's watching film, they know that Jamari's affecting the game, right? He's an impactful player. He requires two hats on him almost at all times. He's playing with great effort, so I'm really proud of Jamari's performance and his growth so far this season.
Right, Eric.
Yeah, 50-yard kick was the first for an Oregon kicker, I think, in like 15 years. What went into that? And I guess Andrew's a guy we haven't seen for a while, and maybe give us some insights into his story.
Yeah, I mean, I told him after the play. I didn't want to tell him before, but this is exactly what we did. We had to do this period we call red zone lockout, and we almost created the exact same kick earlier in practice this week, and he nailed it. So for him to have the opportunity to be able to attack that, he's got a big leg. I thought that was really a big positive for him, and when he's healthy, he can definitely be a guy that helps our team.
Back left, Brady.
Early in the game when emotions are running high and then you get a turnover on one end followed by a turnover on the other, what do you tell your guys when the emotions are high like that to keep them like reset almost?
Next play, right? Next play. It's the most important play. Your ability to go from one play to the next is really important. I thought our guys did that tonight.
Right here, second row middle.
Hey, Coach, how long do you savor this win before that you turn your attention now to Saturday next week?
Right around till midnight, right? We'll focus on putting this game to bed and really evaluating and grading it early in the morning tomorrow, and then move on to our next opponent.
Right, Zach.
Did you get a chance to see that Trishawn Holden catch the first half and any reaction to that, what he did?
I'm glad he caught it. Yeah, I was glad he caught it. It was impressive. Would have loved it if he caught it with his feet standing up, so he could keep running. But, big-time players make big-time plays.
Front left, James.
No, you wanted more explosive runs. Does 6 10-plus yarders with the 41-yarder, does that suffice, or do you still? Who wouldn't want more 20s? But
yeah, I'll take more. Yeah, I'll take more. I thought we ran the ball effectively tonight, and that's something we have to continue to do to be, a great team.
The offensive line did a really good job at picking up blitzes. There's one play in particular where Poncho slid from center to pick up a blitzing nickel. What did you like in terms of their ability to keep Dillon upright tonight?
Well, more than anything, after that play was over with, I loved hearing the communication from the offensive line. When you start getting into some exotic pressures like we saw a few tonight, and the ability to recognize that he's free and overlap in that situation is a big-time play by him. So for us to play great football, we have to stay out of negative plays. That was a great situation there where he was able to do that.
All the way to the back, Matt.
Last drive before half, the touchdown. How important was that just for momentum for you guys and for the momentum of this game?
Yeah, I think it was really critical just in a lot of ways. One, knowing that they're going to come back with the ball out of half, right? And it changes like kind of the level of the game, where we're at in the game in that moment to, create that extra score.
Coach, we saw Marion Winston kind of kick down into like a defensive tackle as a pass rusher a lot in this game. Just kind of what makes him such a unique athlete to be able to kind of rush from that spot as a typical off-ball linebacker?
Yeah, just one. That's something he's done consistently for us throughout the year. We were able to do it on some second and long opportunities in this game. But he's a guy that consistently does his job and executes at a high level and makes the players around him play better. And he's one of our better interior rushers with his athleticism at times.
Right here, on the right.
Tatum led the game with 7 tackles, and he was just very active and involved, like he has been all year. What's it been like to see him progress as a sophomore?
Yeah, I just wish you guys could come watch him practice on Tuesday, right, or Wednesday. This guy plays with unbelievable effort all the time. He's quiet, out there on the field, but he executes at a really high level. I think that same thing showed up tonight.
Eric, on the right.
You talked about it, kind of red zone issues. What are some things that, I guess you have to check out the film and tell us that, but what are some things that kind of got in the way there?
I think just timing. The last 2 weeks, those have been later balls, and we have to do a better job, with that of, getting the ball out in time and knowing that we already have points in those situations.
James, front left.
The offense generated a lot of attention, understandably, in the offseason, Dan, but it seems like so far the identity of this team might be on the defensive end, particularly with how dominant you guys have been the last couple of weeks. Is that reflective? Do you think that that's what the identity of this team could be on the defensive side of the ball this season?
I think there's going to be moments within this season that both sides are going to have to lift each other up, and you want to be able to play complementary football. At times we certainly play great defense, and at times we play great offense. For us to be who we want to be, we got to be able to do that across the board in special teams, offense, and defense. So we always talk about at some moment you might have to put each other on each other's back, and that showed up a couple times in this game. But it'll be something that's going to continue throughout the season if we want to be a great team.
Right here on the end, second row.
Coach, your defense played shutout tonight, and going into Ohio State, it's going to be a very tough game. I want to understand how the defense adjusted to playing in this Big Ten and playing with teams that are known for rushing the ball, and what your plan is continuing forward.
Yeah, ultimately, I've said this before. Obviously the Big Ten is an elite conference and a special one that we get to be a part of. But winning football is winning football, regardless of conference, right? And if you're able to control the run game on both sides of the ball, that's going to equate to wins a lot of times.
Zach on the right.
Limited sample size. You need to watch the tape. I know. What is your instant takeaways from Dante Moore and some of the young guys that got in late in that game?
Well, you said it. I got to be able to go watch the tape. But he's what he shows on the game field is the same things that we're able to see in practice. I think he was able to operate cleanly tonight. But want to be able to go out and watch the tape and see what I can pick from that.
In the back, Matt.
Next Saturday against Ohio State is going to be maybe the most anticipated game played here at Autzen ever. How do you feel like your team managed not looking ahead to that the last 4 weeks? And now, how do you manage that emotion going into this one?
Well, they've done a really good job of not listening to you guys, right? But finally, you guys can talk about it. We're finally there, right? We're going to play them now. So it's a great team. Obviously, they do a lot of things. There's a reason they're one of the best teams in the country. So it's going to be a great challenge for us, and our fans are going to have to show up and be phenomenal in that one.
Right here on the right.
Dillon obviously had some mistakes tonight, but what's it like to see him take a huge hit like that and then come right back in, drop his shoulder, and get in the end zone by himself?
Yeah, I mean, he's a tough kid, man. You saw it tonight. Had the wind knocked out of him a little bit on that play, and he was ready to run off the field. I said, hey, hang tight. Let's buy us some time, make sure we can get our next play call ready to go. So he probably could have ran off a lot earlier, but, we had like a Rod Tidwell moment, or isn't that who it is, from Jerry Maguire, right? I mean, I said, hang tight. Let's get our next play call figured out first. So Dillon's a tough kid, did a really good job.
Right left, James.
With how enormous next weekend is, from a recruiting standpoint, Dan, at what point do you almost put a cap in terms of how many recruits do you want to get here? Where of course you want as much as possible, but of course you don't want it to be almost too much to where it's unmanageable.
Well, I think the thing that we want great players to be here, and there will be certainly some great players here next week. But the important thing is the game, right? And we talk about play the game, not the occasion. That's going to be part of it for us. The best thing we can do for this football team is go play a great game, and the recruiting will help kind of take care of itself when you do a good job of that.
That's all we have for you.
Thank you, guys.
Congrats on the win.
Thank you.
Hang tight just for a second, because Nate had talked about bringing Dillon up here earlier in the week. I don't know if they ever decided or not. Yeah, Dillon's going to come here, and then we'll do the rest of the guys out there. Or out front.
Just get a bigger camera so you want this side. Yes. I'm sorry.
Watch out, Nick. The defense is here, and that was a big concern that I think
Kind of, maybe I don't know. Might be a little quick.
Dude, I know. I was like, who's going crazy?
Dillon, that's a win.
Thank you.
There you go.
Yep.
Okay, question. Start over here on the right with Zach.
Tough couple of throws in the first half. How do you mentally bounce back from that and get yourself back in the game?
Yeah, I about did everything in my career. Not saying everything, but something similar. Don't necessarily like it one bit, but just was forcing things early and things that need to be corrected. But we talk about playing the next play and having to respond. There's no option. You go back out there and you got to keep swinging. So that's what I kept doing.
On the right, Eric.
What kind of got in the offense's way in the red zone? Not even interceptions included, but it just seemed like you guys had a harder time moving the ball when you got closer.
Yeah, just I think something we need to continue to emphasize. I think at times we're a block away or a catch and a throw away from turning it into points. I think a lot of it, we for sure get 3 in that situation, but would love to get 7. Just things we need to continue to look at and get better at. But it starts with me. That's what I say. I touch the ball every single play, and got to put us in a better situation. So we can, like that one last drive, we were able to go for it on 2 4th downs and go get it. But that's based on great ball security and having 4 opportunities, really 8 to go score.
Front left, James.
Because they stand out in such sharp contrast, Dillon. You hadn't had an interception in the red zone in a couple of years.
Yep.
Now you've got as many in these last 2 weeks as you did your freshman season.
Yep.
Are you just trying too hard? Are you putting too much on yourself in some of these spots because it's just so uncharacteristic?
Yeah. I would not say that. I just think that at times, my eyes get bigger than my stomach, in the red zone. And like I said, there's things that I've continued to learn, but obviously God's want to continue to teach me the lesson, and I keep making that decision. So at a certain point, there's just things you got to get better at and continue to emphasize. But you look at those 2 drives, how different of a game it'll be, and that's what we're striving for. Those 5 to 10 plays that could be the difference of the game. Thank God we have a great defense. Thank God our O-line and our running backs are running it really well. But like I said, in the tight games and in games that you need to be 100% scoring in the red zone, you can't have things happen like that.
Here on the right.
After you take that big hit in the first half and then coming back so quickly and scoring yourself, how do you amp yourself up or get your head in the right mindset to go race to the pylon and get low and drop your shoulder after that hit?
Yeah, like I said, I've played a lot of football. Big hits are natural, and it's a physical game and things you go through. But like I said, you got to keep swinging. It don't stop. And the clock's continue to tick. So I got a job to do, and that's playing quarterback for our guys and doing it the right way. But being aggressive, that's throwing it and running it aggressively. I think that's something you got to have in college football, and it's belief and trust in one another, and then me to finish in that situation.
All the way in the back, Matt.
Touched on it briefly. Just your thoughts on the offensive line, the run game. Why was it so successful, and what was the impact on the game? You feel like?
Yeah, I think schematically we had a lot of good things that put us in a good advantage. But I think up front, the knockback, something I can see from behind, in a really good way. But also just the 5 we have up there that we have extreme trust in. I think they've continued to get better every single game, and as we mesh together as a whole. But like I said, I think the combination schematically and then the guys, just having that mentality. And I'd be wrong to forget, Jordan and Noah just running a really aggressive. It really is a team effort. But when it's clicking in all cylinders, you can see how good it is. And the 5 to 10 plays is our strain to continue to get better. So that'll never end.
Back right, Chris.
Yeah, Dillon, can you look ahead to this week and the opportunity that's ahead of you guys with Ohio State coming to town next week?
Yeah, great opportunity. I think it's a great opportunity because it's the next, and 2 great programs that have been known for playing good football, and it's things you look to as a young man in playing the game is those big time moments and great atmospheres. So super excited for it. We'll put this one to rest here tomorrow and go through it and dive into it, see how we can get better, and then it's full steam ahead.
All right, here, out.
You spoke about the offensive line and their performance. I wanted to ask specifically about Jordan in his game. I think 150 rushing yards at half. What, at least from your angle, was he doing specifically just to create all those yards?
He's got great vision. You know, the guy's special. And I think he would say the same. The guys up front, you know, creating alleyways for him to work with. But when you're able to give him that space and then work on a third level defender, then he's able to do his thing, you know, and make a move and get vertical. So that's just a testament to him and his work. But you see the 1-2 punch with him and Noah. I think that's special. And then, you know, whenever I can finagle my way into the run game, I try. But I'll leave that to them.
All the way in the back, Aaron.
You touched on it just a little bit before on the defense, but really at this point in the season, as you're heading into Big Ten play, like how much pressure does that take off your shoulders when you have a defense that is, you know, shutting out a team all the way until the fourth quarter?
Yeah, they're special and they've been playing their butt off, and thank God, right? Because you know I put them in two difficult situations, but you know I wouldn't say it's less pressure. I think it's just more of a motivator for me to, you know, play at a high level and not let those guys down. I think you know, that's the main thing for me, right? Playing my game and trying to contribute the way I can, so that, you know, when we're all gelling together, all three phases, you know, it can be special. So, like I said, I think from every game there's a lot to look at and learn from, but. Even more so, the emphasis got to be, you know, on those mistakes on my end.
When you got a guy like Jordan on a heater in the first half, over 150 yards, over 10 yards a carry, how does that give you guys confidence as an offense going into the second half?
Yeah, the run game's important. You know, we definitely knew that early on, that was working, and it was a point of emphasis. But I think it just opens up a lot of things, you know, and allows us to, you know, set things up, you know, as the run goes. But yeah, I think, you know, anyone, you know, who watches football, if you can run the football you know, at will in a great way, then, you know, usually it ends with victory. So.
You had just taken that big hit, but did you have a chance to see the catch from Trayshawn Holden? And did you, whether in real time or the replay, do you have any words for him after that?
I didn't get to see it in real time, unfortunately. I got to see it halfway there, and then, you know, of course the hit happened. But yeah, I watched it back on the tablet. But you know, great play on his end. You know, I saw him slip and make that catch. So great catch.
Right here.
What allowed the pass to Evan to work in terms of the touchdown there when, you know, obviously the two previous ones have been kind of similar parts of the field and didn't work?
Yeah, I think just ball placement, you know, I think helped. You know, and it's really close in a lot of ways, but regardless of really close, it's the difference, you know, between catching it and not. So got to continue to put them in great position to finish and make plays, and they've continued to show that. So, you know, I look myself in the mirror and try to get better so that they can be in great position to do so.
Two more, back right.
Dillon, can you speak on your connection with Tez so far to start the season?
Yeah, love Tez, love everything he represents, just as a person. So I can definitely get behind a guy like that. But, you know, to second, you know, his playing ability is special. And he showed that, you know, for many years. But I just think all the work we've put in together, you know, the throwing sessions, whether it's one-on-one as a group, you know, communication at a high level, a guy who's played a lot of ball as well. You know, I had only good things to say about him. And, you know, we, you know, continue to find ways to, you know, create solutions to problems. And he's a great problem solver. So glad he's on my team.
Now that you're free to acknowledge the game that most everybody's been talking about for many, many months, just how much have you had a chance to look at this Ohio State defense in advance, even in the summer, Dillon, even if it's not during the season so far?
Yeah.
How much have you had a chance to see them, and are they the most talented defense that you've seen, perhaps even in your career?
Yeah, I think, you know, naturally, as a guy who's played college football, you watch at times, you know, whether it's in the hotel before the night before the game, or whenever it's on, depending on your time of game. But obviously a team that's extremely talented, have won in a matter of dominance, and I think it'll be a great challenge and a great opportunity for us, in front of our home crowd to play ball. But like I said, you dream for moments like these and games like this, and I think everyone's excited for it. So, like I said, you just look at what you can get better at, put this game to rest, and then full steam ahead. So,
Thanks, Dillon.
thank you guys.
Appreciate your time.
Quickly as we can, we're going to move to the back for other players.